Learn more about the impacts and how students were affected.
Missing crosswalks, a local organization and artists took it upon themselves to repair this safety precaution.
A powerful typhoon has struck land in Taiwan and Hong Kong and is now heading towards China.
Football players at Ursuline High School still want to play football after a hazing incident took place a few weeks ago. Learn about this story and more as your KSTV Wednesday newscast starts right now.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good Wednesday evening, Portage County, and welcome to tonight's newscast at 6. I'm Evan Schofield.
And I'm Ryan Mead. Thank you for joining us.
We start with local news. At Kent State lost power yesterday at 5 a.m. Classes were canceled, traffic lights were out, and students were without internet.
But just outside of campus, the Kent Free Library remained open with electricity. It provided a place for students to recharge and catch up on work. Extra space was even open in their second-floor meeting room as students filled the library throughout the day.
Well, over the weekend, the organization Main Street in Kent restored the crosswalk near Water and Brady Street.
For more on the restoration and how the community feels, we turn to Talia Sasia.
Good evening, Evan and Ryan. Local coffee shop Bent Tree barista Noah Eichenzer expressed how art being used as a crosswalk tied into Kent State University's artistic passions.
Art is such a big part of Kent as is. It's like a big culture here, whether it's music, whether it's actual painting, murals. I think the more the merrier. It just feels like it has a sense of community, a culture to it. So I think it's really good.
The Federal Highway Administration states that high visibility crosswalks can reduce pedestrian injury crashes up to 40%. Crosswalks have been non-existent all over downtown Kent. Main Street Kent decided to repair and repaint one at Brady Street and Water Street. Local artist who serves on the Kent Public Art Board, Stephanie Brewer, designed and painted the crosswalk with help from volunteers. The design on this crosswalk is her own original artwork. After the repainting, Main Street Kent took to socials to recap the volunteer event and highlight the work done in a series of pictures. The post read that the downtown organization had a fantastic morning working on the crosswalk. They hope this version of the crosswalk and coats of paint will last longer than the previous one. The post received support from the Kent community, including the Ben Curtis Foundation. For more updates on the Brady Street and Water Street crosswalk art, you can look at Main Street Kent's social media pages. For KSTV, I am Talia Scassa.
Thank you, Talia. A magistrate has denied a request for a temporary restraining order that would have allowed Ursuline High School football transfers to play in the 2025 season. The court ruled that the plaintiffs did not meet the legal standards, stating they failed to show evidence. Under OHSSA rules, the transfers must sit out until 2026 unless granted an exception. Attorneys for the students say they will object to the ruling and continue pressing the case in court.
In Pittsburgh, 3 high school students are recovering after a stabbing earlier this morning. This occurred at Currick High School, and the suspect, according to police, is a 16-year-old who is new to the district. A public official said that the stabbing stemmed from a fight that started in a hallway that dramatically escalated. This high school does have metal detectors, and investigators are still learning how the suspect got a knife inside.
Earlier today, investigators held a presser involving a deadly shooting at a Dallas ICE facility. The incident involved 2 casualties and 1 individual wounded from an unnamed gunman who opened fire on the scene. Investigators claimed the rounds from the rifle included anti-ICE remarks. The gunman died on scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound as law enforcement remained unharmed. Officials also suggest this was a targeted attack.
A decades-old group focused on supporting women in the military is being terminated. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said in social media that the Defense Against the Agenda Combat Readiness Committee was founded in 1951, which is around the time that women started larger roles in the military. The group was most known for offering advice on domestic abuse support and health care.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
Hello, Portage County. My name is Abby Kress. It has been a cozy day here in Kent today. Now let's take a look at what you can expect for the rest of the day. Currently in Kent, it is 76 with an overcast of drizzle, a wind of 2 miles an hour, and humidity is 67 degrees. It has been such a chilly day, so we're really getting into that fall vibe. So drink some hot apple cider, get your favorite pumpkin drink from Starbucks. My favorite is going to be a chai tea latte with pumpkin foam and an extra shot of espresso. Now let's look at tomorrow's. For tomorrow, it's going to be 71, overcast, rainy, and the sunset is going to be at 7:17 p.m. If you're like me and you love to watch the sunset, I definitely recommend getting out there because it's going to be beautiful. And I want to note that it's going to be a little bit foggy in the morning, so be careful while you're driving. Now let's look at the hourly. For 8 p.m. tonight, it's going to be 65. 10 p.m. it's going to be 64, and midnight it's going to be 63. So at 8 p.m. we're still going to have a little bit more chance of rain, so make sure you have your umbrellas, your rain jacket, dressing still warm. And then for the rest of the night it's going to dip down a little bit slower. So I would definitely recommend having a sweatshirt on you, and it's going to be just a little bit too cloudy to go stargazing. But don't worry because the wind isn't that strong, and this newscast is going to blow you away. And it's awesome, going to be amazing. It looks like the stormy weather will stick around for at least another day before brightening up, but stay tuned as I'll have your statewide temperatures and your extended forecast. But for now, Ryan at the desk has more about life-threatening weather in China.
Thanks, Abby. Millions of people in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Monaco, and mainland China have been impacted by the force of Typhoon Ragaja. This is the most powerful storm the planet has seen so far this year. Ragaja has killed 14 people already in Taiwan, but at the storm's peak, it was equivalent to a Category 5 hurricane. The storm has caused flooding and drowned many trees in Hong Kong and now threatens China's coastlines.
More details on the childhood favorite science legend who received an honor of a lifetime.
Store packaging said to be making extreme brand changes due to customer input. Find out why these unexpected changes are happening to your local grocery store.
What's up, NFL fans? Quarterback Josh Dobbs here. You may know me as the Pastronaut.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
I've always loved space and football. Growing up, some people told me I had to choose. But here's the deal. You can be great at more than one thing, and getting involved in STEM opens up your world to a universe of opportunities in life. Space isn't just for the astronauts.
It's for all of us. It's not just for engineers like myself. It's for teachers,
Students,
designers, mechanics, scientists,
And millions of football fans across the world.
3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come. This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
Get inspired and get involved today. There are STEM programs and science centers available in your community, so be sure to check out spaceforall.us to learn more and get started.
This is my time.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Welcome back. A local Akron designer's work was just featured at the New York Fashion Week, but not just any local, an Akron firefighter and paramedic.
Kent Stater's TV's Sydney Brown heard from designer Jasmine Fisher-Veal about the experience.
On the day-to-day, Jasmine Fisher-Veal is out answering calls.
We work 24 on, 48 off. 1 day on, 2 days off. And for that 24 hours, we're in charge of any calls that come in, being available for people's worst days.
But last week, she wasn't at the Akron Fire Department, but in the Big Apple to see her own line of work hit the runway for New York Fashion Week.
I always just wanted to say I showed my stuff in New York. That is the mecca of fashion. And I just wanted to say that I had a moment there where those people viewed what I did.
This dream for the 40-year-old Kent State fashion design alum was something she calls her second career. She had 4 different jobs in the fashion industry before coming to the Akron Fire Department.
We see so much. We see people like on their worst days. So art for me is how I get some of that out. Sometimes you can't always talk to your family. You don't want them to know those bad things. So art is how I can express myself from me.
And her coworkers can attest.
I knew she was always in her room sewing and making her stuff.
Whatever I'm just bored, I sit in her room while she sews, and oh my gosh, she sews here all the time.
Jasmine has no plans of slowing down. While we were talking, she got pulled to another call in Akron. For her, it's all about balance for both of these passions.
This right here is my foundation.
She plans to head back to New York Fashion Week this spring, but until then, duty calls.
Reporting in Akron for Kent State TV News, I'm Sydney Brown.
Well, from finding out about a sprout pouch crisis
to brand revises and car prices, here's Nick Sheffield with the news.
That's right, guys. Major branding move just happened as Aldi plans to change some of the consumer products' names. The company is launching its first ever name brand packaging by replacing some of the private labels with the Aldi name. Popular brands like Clancy's, Simply Nature, and Specially Selected will keep their names but get a new Aldi original packaging. Some items will also be renamed using the shopper nicknames like Kirkwood's Frozen Chicken becoming Red Bag Chicken. Contrary to the branding names, the company emphasizes that the food itself isn't changing. Sprout Organics is expanding its recall by baby food pouches due to concerns over elevated lead levels. The recall now includes multiple packages of the 3.5-ounce pouches. Just one package was recalled this week, but that has now grown to include most of the recalled items were sold between September and December of last year. But no other Sprout Organics products are part of the recall. If you have affected product, you're urged to return it to the store for a full refund. Vehicle prices for consumers skyrocketing after boost of car tariffs. Edmunds Consumer Insights analyst Joseph Yoon says that car prices were raised during the early pandemic when manufacturing and imports stopped. With the industry still recovering, car makers offer fewer discounts lately, leaving buyers with less room to negotiate prices. Car repair costs 5% from July to August and are up 15% from last year. Yoon advises that the best time to buy a used car is at the end of the year as dealerships make room for 2026 models. That was it for some of your news updates. Stay up to date with the Kent Stater for more information. I'm Nick Sheffield.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
Welcome back, everyone. As promised, I am back and have your statewide temperatures and other weather updates. Let's take a look and see if the rest of Ohio is feeling that Kent gloom. Alrighty, down in Cincinnati, we got 72, Toledo 75, Columbus is 75, and Akron, Canton 68, Athens is 73, and for my Pittsburgh folks, we got 70 degrees. So I'd say a little bit down by Cincinnati, Columbus. It's a little bit warmer than it is over here. But now let's take a look at some of those northeastern counties. So we got Sandusky at 66, Cleveland is 70 degrees, Mansfield 70, Worcester 69, Akron, Canton 68, Kent 65, Ashtabula 66, and all the way down in Youngstown, we got 66 as well. And it honestly looks like a perfect fall night for all of northeastern Ohio. And now let's take a look at some of those extended weather forecasts for the rest of the week. So for tomorrow, it's going to be high 72, low 60. So I would say definitely bring out a sweatshirt, but have a tank top underneath because it might get a little hot. But it will for sure be raining, so definitely have that umbrella. But good news, for the rest of the week, we got bunch of sunshine. So Friday it's gonna be 73, Saturday 75, Sunday 76, Monday 78, Tuesday 75, and Wednesday 70 degrees. But like I said, don't put away those summer clothes yet. I would still keep those sunglasses out because it looks like it's gonna be pretty sunny. And that walk to class is gonna be a little hot. So make sure you wear layers, dress warm, but also dress cold. And keep those raincoats and umbrellas out because it looks like the showers will continue tomorrow. So enjoy that cozy fall weather while it lasts, Portage County. I'm Abby Kress, Kent Stater TV.
Thank you, Abby. Well, Ryan, we saw a pretty cool science guy get an awesome accolade amongst other things.
That's right. Our own Claire Duber has more on the entertainment department. Claire?
Thank you, Evan and Ryan. There's a lot to unpack with entertainment news this evening. Beginning with Jimmy Kimmel's return to late-night television almost a week after the show's suspension. Kimmel thanked Disney for bringing his show back on air to ABC. The monologue already has 15 million views on YouTube. The guests of the evening included actor Glenn Powell and singer-songwriter Sarah McLachlan. Bill Nye officially has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The ceremony took place on Monday as he was surrounded by family and friends. Nye reflected on his experiences over the years in an Instagram post on Tuesday, recognizing his career in science and entertainment. Lastly, if you are a fan of the show Happy Days and have an extra $15,000 to spend, you could buy Fonzie's original jacket, as well as other iconic clothing pieces such as costumes from the original Batman and Star Trek. These items all come from a private collection and are being sold through heritage auctions. That is all the entertainment news for now. For KSTV, I'm Claire Duber.
Green now considered safe after nearly a decade. We give you the details about the new change in the Windy City.
The Guardians captured the AL Central lead with a big home win last night. I'll break down how Cleveland got the win and more.
We'll spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Hey there, welcome to Kent Core.
Kent Core?
Kent Core. To Kent Core.
Hi, I'm Leland Melvin, and I traveled to space twice as a NASA astronaut. Space technologies help protect our precious Earth Space helps us monitor changes in carbon emissions, track the pace of climate change. It even helps us fight natural disasters. Make sure that you get out to your local science museum or go to spaceforall.us to explore and learn about space and science. Space is for all.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Welcome back. It was announced that Cleveland will host the 2030 Special Olympics USA Games with a signing ceremony set for earlier this afternoon to formally announce the agreement.
Local and national leaders say the event will celebrate the athletes' abilities while bringing on an estimated $70 million to boost the region.
Competitors will take place at venues including Rocket Arena, Case Western University, and Cleveland State University, which will also house athletes.
Well, there's been a lot of news stories going around Cleveland recently.
Yeah, that's true, Ryan, especially the Guardians reaching first in their division the other night. You know, pretty surreal that they got there. You know, they were down and out.
Yeah, they were
not too long
out of
ago, and now it just kind of seems like they're back in. They're competitive again. You know, despite the injury, obviously, to David Fry. You know, we're seeing a Guardians team look a lot better recently. But Maddox, I want to know your thought. Like, how about them Guards, man?
Oh, it has been absolutely phenomenal, Evan. 15 and a half games back, now to leading the AL Central. The Cleveland Guardians, just a team that came out of nowhere, not just competing for a wild card spot, but competing for a division spot as they took on the Tigers last night, and we're going to get to that here soon. Tigers, Guardians, winner, it takes key sole possession of the AL Central. Game 1 was last night. So let's get to that. Cleveland hosting the Detroit Tigers, where it would be the top of the third, and Wenzel Perez would get the offense going for the Tigers early, hitting that one down the first base line, be an RBI double, putting Detroit up 1-0. It was actually quite the pitcher's duel for some time. No runs until here in the top of the sixth, where Riley Green's going to get a hang of this one and send a liner out to right field, putting Detroit up 2-0 with a solo home run. Tarek Skubal, the Cy Young favorite, was having a great night. It would be 2-1 here, and now it would be 2-2 on a wild pitch. You don't see that very often. Now tied up in the bottom of the sixth. We would stay in the bottom of the sixth, where it would be Gabriel Arias up to bat against Skubal, and he's going to hit a little chopper right about now. He would not make it to first base, but it would score a key run, making it 3-2 now, Cleveland up. We'd head to the bottom of the next inning, bottom of the seventh. Daniel Schneemann going to get this one in the gap. It's going to score not one but two, as Cleveland would go up 5-2, and that would be it. David Fry, though, as mentioned, is out 6 to 8 weeks, suffering an injury in the game. Cleveland wins 5-2. Now we're going to move up north with some Kent State sports, where the women's golf team wrapped up the inaugural Canadian Collegiate in Ontario yesterday. The Flashes placed second in the 12-team field, shooting 10 under in the event. Kent State is bringing home a trophy, though, as junior Flash Veronica Kendranova placed first among individual golfers by shooting 8 under. Up next for the Golden Flashes is a trip to Fayetteville, Arkansas, to compete in the Blessings Collegiate Invitational on September 29th. We're going to head over to the pitch, where the Kent State soccer team will return home after a 5-game road trip for a game against UMass tomorrow. The Flashes will look to make it a 2-game win streak after their win against Ball State on Sunday, as Kent State looks to build momentum now that conference play is in full swing. The game will be played tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Wrapping things up on the volleyball court, the Kent State volleyball team will take a trip to Toledo for a game against the Rockets tomorrow for their first MAC game. The Golden Flashes seek their second win in a row after last Friday's game against Youngstown State, as they attempt to get their record back to 500. This game will be at 6 o'clock tomorrow and can be watched on ESPN+. And that's all I have for today. To stay up to date all things Kent State or more, head over to kentstater.com. For KSTV Sports, I'm Maddox Miller.
NASA has been studying many different pros of space for decades. Find out more about what NASA is trying to learn more about after this short break.
Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Class, today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused, fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
If you can say with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, have a good time. Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall. And make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first element. Helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Welcome back. The Chicago River made history this weekend with its first public swim in nearly a decade. After decades of cleanup, tests from the University of Illinois gave the water a green flag for safe swimming. Hundreds took the plunge as thousands looked on, all to raise money for ALS research and young swimming programs. The event, known as the Chicago River Swim, brought in about $150,000.
An effort to better understand the cosmic shield that surrounds our solar system is now underway. This shield is called a hemisphere, which is a bubble that surrounds the Milky Way, protecting our planets from radiation. This NASA mission is called the Interstellar Mapping and Acceleration Probe, or IMAP. The IMAP could give scientists information that could help predict our solar system more accurately. So, on the topic of NASA and science, Bill Nye was recently awarded a pretty crazy award. So, what do you guys think about Bill Nye and how he's impacted like kids, you know, everyone?
Yeah, I love Bill Nye.
Yeah, he's impacted me a lot. We'd always have those like roll-in TVs with the VS, and you'd stick it in there.
Those were the best. Yeah. All right. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. Yep. That's all the time we have today.
For more from us, check out our website at KSTV.com. I'm Ryan Mead.
I'm Abby Kress.
I'm Claire Duver.
And I'm Evan Schofield. Have a great night, Portage County.
Hey, I'm worried about your parents. We need to show them how to spot phishing emails.
Agree, the scammers are out of control.
And we need to show them how to use a password manager. Plus, help them add multi-factor authentication.
Yes, we use MFA at work and it's great. Great cake. I'll use MFA to verify my purchase. Software update? Done. Time to celebrate.
For more information on how to keep yourself and those you care about safe online, go to cisa.gov/secure-our-world.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine, and I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen a